Today we are at West Coombeshead Farm in East Cornwall. It's a Dutchy College demonstration dairy farm of around 262 hectares. We are planting an agroforestry system which will be integrated into the grazing platform. We want to demonstrate how tree planting can help dairy farms adapt to a changing climate and ensure that the enterprise remains resilient economically and environmentally. This is an alley system, or essentially a row of trees, and it's made up of a row of standard trees down the centre with species like oak, field maple and wild cherry, and these will offer a load of shade and shelter to the cows. And then on either side of this we have coppicable browse lines, which are essentially rows of shrubs, and we have species like willow and hazel and rowan, and cows essentially like the taste and the benefits associated with these trees.
This site is ideal for us because we have to the west Bodmin Moor and to the east Dartmoor, and the winds that blow across are bitter. And this site gives us the opportunity to create shelter belts. So we've got something which is functional for the farm immediately, looking at the health and well-being of the livestock.
This field perfectly allows for this agroforestry to be put in. It's a great size, it's 5 hectares. We can split it nicely into 1 hectare grazing blocks.
Here at Shillingford Organics, this is a horticultural farm. So whilst it's a very different setup to Dutchy dairy farm, it is interesting to see similar drivers for planting.
In the year 2002 and 2003, we planted apple trees in alleys, but they were 12 metres apart. And as the trees grew up, we realised that actually it's a bit too close together, because although we do grow crops in between, it's not that easy to manage. So then in 2012-13, we planted the agroforestry strips in this field, 27 metres apart, with 24 metres of cultivatable crop land in between. Because we're organic, we're totally reliant on natural ecosystems to control pests. So the alleys of trees also harbour a lot of insects through the winter and through the year. And the other thing about it is shelter. So this willow here is a really good shelter for the crops adjacent to it. Reduce the amount of wind on the crops, and they are 2 or 3 weeks earlier. And they're just ideal for those more Mediterranean crops, especially we're trying to get production 52 weeks of the year.
According to the Met Office, by 2040 there'll be 2 weeks over 40 degrees every year, and in these conditions our current farming systems will be put under a lot of pressure, so trees can really help us be more resilient to these changes. Dairy cows can be very vulnerable to heat stress, so when temperatures reach 24 degrees, milk yield can drop by up to 20%. And at this point, you'll notice them congregating under the small areas of available shade. And so having trees kind of evenly distributed across the site will ensure that they can continue to graze normally in hot weather events. On the other end of the scale, in cold weather, they have to consume a lot more calories to maintain weight. And this puts a massive amount of pressure on winter feed or the sort of spring-autumn grass growth.
Creating these hedgerows and tree systems, they're going to utilise more water from the available pasture. They're going to be able to allow us to hopefully stay out slightly longer with a bit more shelter. We'll have an increased benefit of not having to bed them indoors, bring them in slightly earlier, potentially reduce some feed costs. The further we get down the project, really, I think we're going to see more and more benefits to this system. The Woodland Trust have provided and sourced the trees for us to do it, provided the fencing, and also the biodegradable guards that have gone round to protect the trees as well. What farmers need to do is to actually have a think about how it can benefit them as a business, because it's a long-term commitment. It's a good project to get involved in, and the best place to start is to think about what you want to achieve, how it's going to benefit the animals, and then come over to someone like the Woodland Trust. They can point you in directions of other people that have already started this journey, and then get the project moving along further and actually enable other farms to be able to get it on their properties.
The trees are there not to replace anything, but to enhance what you're doing and support it. It's about reframing trees that actually they do benefit the farming system, they're not separate from it.
But I just think in the long term it's going to benefit everyone. We're just hoping more and more people can come out and enjoy it and hear what is beauty, and beauty is trees.